Welcome, everybody. My name is Matt Johnson. I am Counsel of New Hampshire Realtors. This is our latest installment in our risk management video series. Today, I am thrilled to have with me Rachel Eames. Rachel is uniquely qualified to talk about our subject today, which is insurance issues in real estate. She is a former past president of NHAR and also owns Eames Insurance Group and also Remax Capital Realty and Coastal Living. Rachel, thank you for making the time to be available for us today.
Absolutely, Matt. Happy to be here.
So, Rachel, the topic for this video is a paragraph that unfortunately may be overlooked sometime in our purchase and sale agreement, and that is on the bottom of the first page, paragraph 8, which talks about insurance. And that one talks about when damage to a property pre-closing can be large enough or significant enough that a buyer can use that to terminate the agreement and get out of the contract. Do you see, in your experience, agents understanding the interplay or how this provision works?
So in my practice, I haven't really had anyone come forward and acknowledge that they're not certain what that means. However, I do get an inclination that it's kind of passed over once by, not thoughtfully considered, I think is a good way to put it. So the important thing about that particular clause is to understand what the ramifications are of that clause. And so I always use with my clients, let's assume there might be a small kitchen fire. And if it's a small kitchen fire and the damage is under, say, $5,000, that means that both parties need to stay in the contract. It's still contractual. Damage does need to be renovated, fixed, so to speak, by the sellers, but it's still a binding contract. If it went over $5,000, then basically the buyers have a decision to make. Do they want to stay within the contract or not? Again, sellers are still responsible for repairing that damage, but it now becomes a little bit more of a dance, and that can become very stressful, very emotional. The most important thing I utilize in my practice is to make sure that I am very consistent with the dollar amount that I complete on that blank. I suggest agents speak with their broker, see what that broker's office wants to do for the numerical amount on that line. In my practice, I typically use $5,000. And again, the consistency of utilizing that dollar amount is what's so important, so we don't have any discrimination amongst what I'm utilizing for one client versus another.
That's great information. I believe that is an area that gets overlooked, and just agents need to remember that that number that they put in the box in the form contract does have legal consequences, because if there's a loss that is below that number, the buyer, whether they don't like the loss or not, does not have a contractual remedy to get out of the contract. It has to be over the number. So that's great advice to make sure that agents are talking with their customer, talking with their broker or managing broker, and getting guidance about how they should be assisting buyers in this process.
Yes, and I think like many parts of the purchase and sales, it's a great area to actually pull an example like I did with the kitchen fire and speak about the ramifications of that dollar amount. So everybody has a clear understanding of what that number, Section 8, means, why it's important, and how you move forward if it ever gets enacted.
Rachel, thank you so much. That's great advice. I'm sure the members will find this beneficial, and moving forward, we'll have a little better sense of how to utilize this provision.
Thank you for having me.